What is up, Minties? The Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition. So join me for an overview of the 0 Hour Crisis in Time Omnibus from DC. Please stay tuned. Okay, so let's take a look at the book. Here is the Omnibus. It is right at around 1,100 pages. And it is $150. That is the retail price. Here is that very colorful spine, which I kind of really dig that. The colors are because of the spectrum, and you're going to see a lot of that within these pages. Now, this was previously released in trade paperbacks. It's also been released in a standard size hardcover. But when they announced this, here, let's take a look at the actual book without the dust jacket. So you have that image right there, all the heroes against one of the villains. Not all of the villains. That is extant. Okay, so let's crack this open as I talk a little bit about it. So 0 Hour, this is the 25th Anniversary Omnibus. What I enjoy right off the bat is the table of contents. Like, DC really doesn't do this a lot of the time. This is one of the things I always complain about, is that DC doesn't even put the cover or which issue you're reading about. Sometimes they just put the covers. So it's nice that they have a table of content and which issue you are reading in which page. Let's see. Here is a forward. This one was originally written for the 2017 release of that standard hardcover. It's a forward by Dan Jurgens, who is the writer and artist of the book. So he kicks off with the showcase. We have Wave Rider and Rip Hunter. We also have Monarch. This guy right here, who is a very interesting character from the Armageddon 2001 series. He's supposed to be a hero that has gone bad, and at first it was going to be Captain Atom, but then somehow he got leaked. I think it was a phone number you could call where you could get like rumors and things like that. And they leaked that the villain was supposed to be Captain Atom. So at the last minute, they changed it to Hawk from Hawk and Dove. That's right. By the way, the book, the miniseries, it was 5 issues long, started with issue 4, and then it counts down. So it goes all the way to 0. So it kicks off with this era right here, the end of time, 32 hours ago. Time. We'll talk about that here in a second. Okay, so let's talk about the content of the book first, because it contains a lot. It contains Action Comics 703, Adventures of Superman 516, Anima number 7, Batman 511, Batman Shadow of the Bat 31, Catwoman 14, Damage number 0 and number 6, Dark Stars 24, Detective Comics 678, Flash 0 and 94, Green Arrow 90, Green Lantern 0 and 55, Guy Gardner Warrior 24, Hawkman 13, Justice League of America 92, Justice League International 68. I love this issue, by the way. This one, you have the Frank Miller style Batman fighting all the other Batman, and you have the classic Batman. I love when this stuff happens. Where was I? Guy Gardner Warrior, Hawkman 13. No, I did that already. Justice League International 68. Justice League Task Force 16. Legion 94. Number 70, Legionnaires 18, Legion of Superheroes 61. Damn, I didn't realize there were so many Legion of Superheroes back then. Or titles every month. Outsiders number 11, Robin number 10, Steel number 8, Superboy number 8, Superman number 93, Superman Man of Steel 0 and 37, Teen Titans, not Teen Titans, not 24, Valor 23, and Showcase 94, 8 through 10. And then the main event, 0 Hour 4 through 0. You also get like the 0 Hour month sampler or something like that. DC, this is 1995. They wanted to do another crisis because they had just done the death of Superman. They had done the breaking of Batman. They had done Green Lantern going bad, where Hal Jordan becomes the Parallax and kills most of the Green Lantern Corps. And there's a new Green Lantern. So they wanted to have another crisis. This time, instead of fixing different Earths, it was going to fix different time streams. Because we still had the issue of different characters appearing from different times. So they wanted to wipe that out and set a new rules for time travel. And it got really confusing, and that's why it gets a lot of hate, because it was not necessary. It kind of confused more things than simplify it. So we're going to talk about Hawkman for a minute. So at one time, Hawkman was just a cluster fuck of a mess for DC. Right after Crisis, they didn't know, like the writers didn't know which origin to go with. There were different Carter Halls going around. There was the Thanagar was still part of the origin, so was the Egyptian god. So they were like, we need to fix Hawkman. So this is the best way to do it. And it kind of became more of a mess, but I think in the end they ended up fixing it, just letting another writer take over the book. Then we had the JSA. Now, this also messed up some things, because what Extant, this guy's the villain right here, and like I said, he's not the only villain, but he is one of the main villains. He takes away their time, the Justice Society, who, are still young and stuff, but in this particular issue, he makes them old. Damn, I forgot it was the 90s. Look at all Extreme Booster Gold there. So he makes them old, and they're supposed to be the age that they're really supposed to be, and it kind of messes up some things. But then, in JSA, in the pages of Jeff Johns' JSA, he retcons some of that stuff, and he does a really good job. I'm not going to show much of spoilers. It's kind of hard to talk a little about the book. So the premise of the book is just that, and pretty much it's this character named Extant who wants to absorb time and get rid of time. So it's up to Wave Rider, Rip Hunter, and then Metron, gathering a bunch of heroes from different time streams to go and fight this villain. Because much like Crisis on Infinite Earths, the end of time is this white wall, and it's coming to absorb and eat up all of time. So that's pretty much it. I mean, you have a lot of talent in here. I'm sure you've already seen Tom Grumet. You've seen Dan Jurgens for sure, Jerry Ordway. This was a weird issue to contain in here, because this is a conclusion to one of the stories. And I want to say this one, it doesn't have any words. But to me, it's really weird, because I both love and hate this series, because this is one that I have been wanting to collect for years. I hope that they do some kind of omnibus one day. It was probably my most wanted DC omnibus 5 years ago, because I'm a glutton for punishment, I swear. Because the story isn't really that good, and I acknowledge the fact that it's not that good. It's actually damn complicated at times, and it doesn't make any sense. You have, Batgirl, before she got shot by the Joker, coming back and confronting Oracle, and confronting the Joker, who also, I remember him, even as a kid, I remember him mentioning, hey, I shot you, you should be in a wheelchair. But the Joker has no idea that Barbara Gordon is Batgirl, so I have no idea how the hell he made that connection. Yeah, editors, right? But anyway, you have a whole new Justice League here. Man, everybody was going through the extreme phases. You had Triumph there. Spawn-like artwork, McFarlane-like artwork. But man, I love Tom Grument's art. Actually, this is a really good story. This one's by Chuck Dixon. So there are some gems in here, but it's 1,100 pages, and for the most part, I think it's not one of those books that should be a necessity to read in order to enjoy the DC continuity, or if you're doing a chronological readathon of the DC universe. But I think it probably, you would benefit from it, because a lot of things do happen in here that affect the DC universe for at least for a few years after this. And I remember each of the covers was getting lighter and lighter up until we get to 0 Hour, and then 0 Hour is just this blank 2-page spread. Not going to show that, but here's some of the aftermath. And I do Mike Wieringo, Mark Waid on Flash, of course. Now let's look at some of the extras back here. Okay, so starting here, we have some extras. We have the new timeline here. This sets up the events, which is kind of what DC's trying to do now with their Generation stuff. Here's the free comic book introducing the concept of 0 Hour and what they're trying to do. I do remember one weird thing, too, is I don't know why they have Wonder Woman here. Because Wonder Woman, I think for the most part in this I think she just helped deliver Power Girl's baby, and that's it. She really didn't do much of anything within these pages. Here's all the covers to the trade paperback, the cover to the hardcover. magazine articles and ads, catalog covers, promotional posters, and ads. Oh, here we go. Promotional art. That's cool. I always like seeing this behind the scenes stuff. And behind the scenes, the making of Crisis in Time. Okay, so you have some of the script and proposals. Oh, the actual making of the title. That's cool. The character design of Extant, who, yeah, I can't give away his identity or who the real villain is in case you have not read this. Here's some uninked pages. Love seeing stuff like this. Inked pages without the colors. I've never seen some of this stuff. So it's really cool to see it for the first time. Oh, hell yes. That's cool. There's a lot of that in here. I want to say probably about 70 pages of this stuff is extras. I didn't flip through every page. Here's the cover. And then the Dan Jurgens for the 2017, or I'm sorry, 18 cover. And then the panel from Justice League, number 40, page 10. Now, for a book that is 1,100 pages long, you need it to have good binding. It doesn't need to be tight, and it was a little tight. It does read better than most of the DC stuff. I mean, they've come a long way. It is sewn binding. However, if you look down here at the eye, that's something you don't want to see. You can see my copy. This is just my copy, of course. Everybody's is different. It's coming undone right there, and that is never a good thing. I mean, that's something a little glue can help, book glue, but it's something you don't want to see in a book, especially since it's brand new, and I broke it open yesterday, so I'm surprised it's doing that. Here's a better angle where you can see it coming apart from the spine here. Like I said, nothing a little glue won't fix. I wish they had reinforced it a little more down there. Maybe some more glue would have helped. I haven't had that issue with bigger omnibuses. Maybe it's just my copy. But that is the overview of this book. And that was it. That was the contents in the book. Let me know in the comments down below if you picked this up, if you've never read this, or if this was one of those series that you avoided at all costs. It got a lot of hate when it was originally coming out. But I'd like to know if you still ended up picking it up, or if you've never read it and you're curious about it. I really didn't do many spoilers just in case of that reason. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. Join us on our Redbubble, where we sell our near mint condition logo on t-shirts and stickers. And also, we have a Patreon. So, thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.